What is the first business that you built?
I built their system from scratch, and today they're like, their system is so powerful.
For people who want to achieve business abroad, what do you advise them to do?
So I think it starts from you. It's not about where you are. When you look into you, what do you want to do? Because most of the time, people, they think like they want to be an employee. So they are just normal. They don't want to go out of comfort zone because business is always like it's risky.
What came after that?
So after that, I wanted something more on the side, something more like yummy. So that's when I came up with opening a restaurant.
Can you tell me some of the challenges?
Hang your coat where your hand can reach.
Can you please tell us the process that it took from legalization point to finance and as mentality as well, changing your mentality into a restaurant? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm running a restaurant. It's not an IT company anymore.
Now I'm a good chef.
Can you code a recipe for success? Today's guest went from writing software to serving French cuisines, all while following a higher calling as an apostle. A life that proves faith, flavor, and focus make the perfect mix. Welcome to Behind the Logo, powered by Ego. My name is Nate, and enjoy this podcast.
So, Mr. Valentine, it's nice to have you in our podcast.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, great to have you. Thank you very much again for coming as well. So before we start, can you please tell us in your own words, what do you do and what people know you for?
Yeah, sure. So I do a lot of stuff actually. So first of all, I'm an apostle of God. So a man of God, he would as you might say so. But I'm a software developer first as a career, a part. And I also own some other businesses, both in Poland and also in Nigeria. And I'm also into ministry. So, but most people, they probably know me as Apostle Valentine because of, the work of God that I'm always, involved with. So, yeah.
That's a nice combination, a businessman and also an apostle of God.
Yeah.
So before you actually came here in Poland, what was you doing? And how was life like back in Nigeria?
Well, my journey to Poland was a quiet one. I mean, it was a quite complicated one. But the most important thing was like when I finished my high school, that's when I met somebody, my mentor today. He's a man of God as well. So he's inspired me to into doing stuff like for the community. Impacting other people. So he raised me in a way that I need to raise others because, that's the main purpose. Like when you look at my life, it has always been like I have to come up to the stage where I can be able to bring other people up. So when I was in Nigeria, like when I finished my high school, I came to know this man. And then this whole initiative of coming to Europe started. So he kind of backed me up because my background, my family is not that very rich, I would say. We're just average. So, but this man backed me up and he financed everything that I had to do, like to pay, getting admission and, coming here. So I came here as a student. But I first go to Belarus. So that was the first country I went to before I moved to Poland. So, and I met a lot of Nigerians there as well, a lot of Africans there in Belarus, which we all moved to Poland. And today, when I see them, when I look back on the things that we went through in Belarus, because it was a very rough journey in Belarus.
Wow. So what was the year and?
So I went to Belarus in 2014.
Okay.
So, and I stayed there for 2 years. That was the first place I went to study computer science. So first they had to, let us study like this preparatory course, Russian language for 1 year. And then after that, you can start your, computer science. So I went through the process. I finished the preparatory course, Russian language. And then when I started my first year in my computer science, it was a bit not what I expected. Because when when I was in Nigeria, I was expecting more standard, when it comes to academics. And what I was seeing was a bit different, even lower than what we have in Nigeria. So it made no point for me like to continue there. Plus, as a student, you're not allowed to work.
So it's not like in Poland right here. But
No.
people are not. So if you there for studies, you just have to study.
Yeah. So you have to depend on your parents.
Wow.
So you can imagine how hard it is. And, the tuition fees is quite expensive as well. But cost of living is quite low. But imagine, when you need to buy a bus ticket, you need to call your parents. Everything have to depend on what your parents give you. And it was not going to be like easy for anyone whose parents is not financial buoyant to sustain yourself there. Yeah.
That was 2014. So
Yeah.
So you learned the language. It's Russian language or Belarusian?
No, it's a Russian. They speak Russian there. They have their Belarusian, but in fact, I think 1% or less than 1% speak Belarusian.
Okay.
So
do you speak some of the language?
Yeah, I speak Russian. But, since I came it has been over 8 years I'm here in Poland.
Yeah.
So, but haven't been speaking Russian for a very long time.
Wow. Maybe if you can say something, that would be brilliant.
Здравствуйте. Меня зовут Valentine.
Oh, my name is Valentine. That's
Yeah, it's like a greeting, like Здравствуйте is like a Dzień dobry.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I mean, our Russian viewers would appreciate that.
Yeah. Очень хорошо. That is like bardzo dobrze. Do you speak Polish?
I speak a little bit.
Okay.
I don't speak, but I know some words. That's basically put that up. Yeah. So you moved there in 2014. Oh.
So I went to Belarus 2014, and then by the end of 2015, entering 2016, I left.
Directly to Poland.
Yeah. So and again, another struggle there is, the embassies there, they don't give visas. Like all these Schengen or European embassies there, they don't give visas because it's the same thing like the way they see African. You want to run away and become a burden to them and all kind of stuff like that. So they're trying to, restrict the visa they're issuing to people. So to get a visa, it has to be very strategic. So there was one opportunity that opened for us. Most of us use that opportunity, like where you get like there's a conference a student conference in the US. And when your school gets an invitation, you put your name on the invitation. So you have to apply for US visa. But the problem was there was no US embassy in Belarus as of then. So you have to come to any of these Schengen country to get the visa for the US. I mean, to do your interview with the US. So first you need to apply for the Schengen visa, and then you come for the interview for the US. So many people saw opportunity, many run with the opportunity. And I tried the US, and it all worked out very fine. So we got the Schengen visa. When I came to Poland, I arrived in Krakow for the first time. And that was when I knew I was not in Europe all this time, because Krakow was different vibe. The city was really lively, and you can see people coming from different countries for tourism. And in Belarus, we never saw anybody coming for tourism, So, and when I was asking people to show me some place, they're like, oh, I'm not from here. And I was like, wow, people actually visit this country because they see something they want to, enjoy or see something different and unique. So that's when I started thinking I think it's a good idea. I find school here and, switch immediately. So I started I went to the train station, I connected to Wi-Fi, and I was looking for, universities. And luckily I found one university. They were still taking in some students as of then. So I started my application, from there.
In the train station?
Yeah, I filled the application there quickly because, I don't have Wi-Fi. So, so I had to do it quickly. And I thought to myself, why am I even doing? I could just go to the school since I'm here. So I found a way to the school. I went to the school that day, and luckily I met the student office, and I started the whole process. I told them they need to check my document as soon as possible so that I don't have to spend another semester in Belarus. And the guy was really kind. I would say it was my lucky day So the guy just helped me quickly with the whole process, and then he verified all my documents, and then he gave me some pre-acceptance letter to pay tuition fee, and then they will send me the original acceptance fee for the visa. So that's how I closed the deal there, and I went back to Belarus with one purpose, to just go to Polish embassy and apply for the student visa and start coming. And when I got there, everything worked out fine. I got my visa, and then before I came, I then took a trip to Turkey.
Oh, you went to Turkey?
Yeah, so just for refreshment.
Okay, that was a vacation.
Yeah, before I'm joining the semester here.
Okay, yeah.
So I went there, just to relax, just to cool myself there, because it was like coming from fire, So it was a lot of things, and a lot of other things that I don't want to say here because it's too personal. But the whole thing was it wasn't just a straight way. I had to face a lot of things. I had to face a lot of big challenges. But in all these things, it was God that was helping me actually.
Yeah.
And that's why I never look back when it comes to God. I always rely on Him. Because when I look back on the things He helped me, many of the Africans here, I made them their way. They still know me, and they still know some of the things that we went through. And individual people went through different things. But if people who was aware of what I went through, they can relate the story. But I don't want to say everything here. But it wasn't just something I could do on myself, because it looked like the whole road was ended for me. But God found me in that moment, because He reminded me that He brought me here not by my effort or by my skills or by any connection. So that was the thing that was propelling me. And I remind myself every time, that anything I go through, God is with me, and I walk out from that thing victoriously. So I moved to Poland, and then I started from the beginning.
Wow.
So I had to start from afresh. I started my bachelor degree from afresh, and then it was going pretty well. When you are like so happy, like you are like at home, like what you dreamt of, now you have it. So it's time to enjoy, time to relax. And all my dream, I start remembering them again, what I want to do, because it has been always, my desire to be like a businessman, to do like, not only just to be an employee. So all these years I was studying, I was also studying how to be a businessman and checking some other business areas that I want to go into when I have the opportunity or when I have the capability. So, but I was using education as a means to what I want to do, because I started this computer science with many people in Poland here, and then many of them switched because they thought it was hard, and they switched to other easy course, and most of us also stayed and we finished, but they were studying just for studying sake. It's like everybody does something with some intent, different intention. So not everybody in the same classroom have the intention of working in those areas in the future. Some are just studying just to be educated, but they have other things they want to do in their life. Yeah. So, but for me, it was clear for me what I want to do.
Definitely. So I can imagine, like, even when I came here in Europe, my first country obviously was Poland, but it was 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, after 4 years, a lot of things have changed. But now you're telling me like 2014, that means like almost 11 years?
Yeah.
Almost 11 years. So you didn't even come to Poland, you was in Belarus. No. Yeah. So I can imagine the struggles that you can face right there, because it's not, I don't think it's, a lot of people have experience with people which are of color like we are. So you might experience some hardships. So can you at least tell us one moment that you think, oh, God bailed me out from this situation?
I think it happened in Poland, in Krakow, in the train station. So that was when I was doing my internship in Berlin. So I used this train. I arrived in Krakow a bit late, about somewhere around midnight. And then I was waiting for my connecting, train to Warsaw. So as I was waiting, there was some Polish drunkard people, they came to attack me. But, when I looked at them, they were not physically able. even 4 of them cannot take me down. So
So you took
Yeah.
them all.
yeah, I didn't touch them
Okay.
because I would rather not touch them, So because they came and they were like shouting, I should go back to my Africa, calling all kinds of names. What am I doing here?
One of
They-
those nights, yeah.
Yeah, they were spitting on me and all of that. I had to bear it because one thing I promised myself, I will never fight with anybody, even if they punch me. So that's the way I was trained. And they were, doing all of that. I was, stepping back just to not to engage in fights with them. So it was other Polish old lady that came to bail me out.
Really?
Yeah. So the woman, they came and they were like attacking them. And then they said they will call the police. So they stepped back.
Okay.
So I think that was the only situation because I don't know if they have any weapon, people can have something
Exactly.
or maybe they use the bottle or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was willing to defend myself as I can. But at the same time, I was like, God, my life is into
Exactly.
your hand.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, somebody can also pull gun and shoot you because you have a different color skin.
Yeah.
So-
Because that in that kind of moments, you never know. Anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything could happen.
And
just-
they are not in their right mind.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Yes. I can imagine. I've been to that kind of situations before as well, and I can totally understand where you were coming from because in my situation, it was, I think there was three men. They were
Okay.
big actually. They were big men, and they were slurring a lot, and you have to be so patient with them. Like you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
be tolerant, and you have to calm down because if the man instinct came out of you,
Yeah,
you
things might go
your
wrong.
thing might go left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely imagine, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, thank God that
Yeah.
we didn't do anything.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's better to just avoid it
Avoid
than
it,
to
yeah.
get involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So when you came to Poland, so what was the culture shock that you faced? Let's say.
I would say like Polish people, they are a bit more closed within themselves, and I think one of the challenge that I had was I couldn't make a very good Polish friend, So even though we sometimes we meet in some place where maybe some conference or some some activities, and then you thought, oh, you're making friends, but it just ends there, So it was like this challenge of adapting to the way of life and to the way of their thinking, the way they relate with people, and sometimes they don't see you like somebody they want to associate with. And again, more specifically, because of my faith as well. Because for me, I'm not ready to compromise my faith for anybody. So that also, I think it threw them off sometimes, that I wouldn't follow them to a club or do some stuff that is nasty or like, something like that. So I understand and I face a lot of, rejection for sometimes because of my faith, among the Polish people, because, they feel like you are just like one of these Catholic people that, you are following this and they don't want that kind of vibe anymore. Like this generation of them is like more on a different way. So if you're not getting that way, they like feel like, they're not, your close friends. So that kind of things is one of the things that I faced. And, but it's not worth giving up, my own faith because of what they think.
Yeah.
So
basically, when you left your home country, did you ever thought that you were gonna build a business abroad?
So, my father is a businessman, but not like that very businessman, So before I met my mentor, who helped me to, come here, I've always dreamt of being into construction, because I'm also talented in different ways. For example, like I would look at a house, a building, and I would replicate the house with a paper. Exact house, like the same way it's standing, I can replicate it with paper. So, and I was doing that as, part of the way I used to have fun. And then people started getting attention, and I was doing it for real architects. So they will have like this their drawing.
Yeah.
And then they will show me the image. I will replicate it, and they will take it to the client and say, look at how the house will look like.
Okay.
So I was getting small when I was motivated by that kind of thing, and I wanted to do it because also my senior brother is into construction. He's a civil engineer, so I wanted to go into that direction. And but then I didn't figure out how I'm going to do it. But then when I came to Europe, I had a dream before, but when I came to Europe, my mindset changed because of the environment. So I started looking as architects or like construction as a bit more, not the future, So I started researching and looking at so many ways, and I saw that IT is one of the, the promising future, because I saw like everything was going towards IT, all this tech stuff. So I figured this could be like the area I want to go, because I don't like limitations. And if I'm going to any career, I don't want in a way after 10 years, the career is no more like, that's part of the industry is like no more visible or, dying or something like that. So, and I also like something more creative. So, yeah.
Yeah. So when you leave your home country, it's really hard for, I believe, not many immigrants dream of building, or let's not say dream, but they will not think they will build a business abroad, because once we get here, all we think about is how we can get hired by some people, how we can get that 9-to-5 job that can pay us well, so that we can send some money to home and to survive here as well. Then that's it, right? So in order to have that kind of mindset, I think it needs some specialty. Like you have to be some type of special out of the box thinker. And for people who want to achieve business abroad, what do you advise them to do?
I think they should change the mindset of trying to survive. As you said, many Africans, sometimes they left Africa trying to run away from the struggle there. And when they come here, they're trying to survive. If they change the mindset of surviving, but helping the community, bringing a solution, then they'll begin to think, what is the problem? If find any industry or any area and find out what is the problem. Sometimes you can also replicate, already proven idea, but then make it a bit better if you're going to compete with big, people. So I think it starts from you. It's not about where you are. If you want to build a business, if you don't have the vision within you, if you don't have that, everything like inside you, you can't be able to do it. So because when you look into you, what do you want to do? Because most of the time people, they think like they want to be an employee. They are just normal. They don't want to go out of comfort zone, because business is always like, it's risky. It's risky. It can be risky. And I can tell you that you need a heart of lion to step out. So many people have spoke with so many Africans. They have great ideas, but I'm asking them, what have you done about it? They're afraid. Even some people have some cash, but they're just afraid to step out. So one thing I would tell them is never be afraid to feel like you're not able to do what, because sometimes God gives us these ideas, and then you are afraid to go for it. And then you stay with that idea and probably die with that idea. Never get to do it. So if you have that idea, take a bold step.
Yeah, I think that's the best advice for most of the people who are watching, also for me as well, because when I think of especially Europe, I don't see it as the US. For example, the US, they have this mentality of going big. Everybody wants to
go big and go home.
Yeah, go big or go home. Like everybody wants to own a business, wants to do some big stuff. Even as a corporate level, they always want to get to the higher stage of corporate when you see it as that level. But in Europe, when you see it, it's always like it's calm, like life work balance, and let's just balance it out. Let's just do the 9 to 5 and stuff like that. So when you have already the mentality of being employed, I believe it will keep you down. It will keep you in the same spot.
Yeah.
So, and the thing that you said about thinking like you were solving a problem, like you're serving the community.
Yeah.
I believe most businesses came as solving a problem.
That's actually business.
Yeah.
Business is like everybody in this, let's say this room.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a problem with, the condition, like maybe it's cold and everybody is not comfortable.
Yeah.
Business, you find a solution to their problem, and everybody will start paying. Okay, I'm paying this one to, for you to give me that solution because I need them. So you make business out of it. And if you don't have a solution, you don't have any money. Sometimes you can compete with already made solution, but then you have to be smarter. So when you are competing, you see also that you want to make the solution more, they have version 1, version 2. You want to upgrade the version of the solution.
Yeah.
And then you make business out of it.
Exactly.
That's what makes many companies money today.
Yeah, guys, like whoever is listening, let's focus on serving the community first instead of trying to get money. Instead of like trying to take, because when you give, that's when the things that you want will come. Yeah, they will look for you, basically. I understood that mentality actually really, really in the early 2022, like when I was listening to a certain podcast that was talking about business, and I always thought about business as gaining something, as getting cash or getting something from people, right? But when they break it down, they thought that they spoke like you actually understood it, like giving things for the problem that already exists. Then that's when you expect something, like after you've given a lot to the community, then that's when things will come and chase you. Yeah, so thank you very much for that.
It's my pleasure.
All right, Mr. Valentine.
Yeah.
So we spoke about a lot of things, and I wanted to ask what is the first business that you built?
So that was an IT business. So because when I first did my internship while I was studying, doing my bachelor in computer science, I went to Berlin to do this internship, and I saw what this company was doing. They're just a kind of a startup then. And I saw what they were doing. And I figured that I could do, much better in a more efficient way. So what they do is like they approach so many businesses that doesn't have online presence. And then they would offer to, bring their business to the internet in a more faster way and reach more customers. And they were solving a lot of things for them, small stuff. It's not like really.
That was the digital marketing type of.
No, that like software development. They develop websites. They maintain a lot of things. They build some, back-end services that they could manage on their dashboard, help them to scale their business, make things easy to reach customers. And these things are really helping some businesses. So, like for example, all the stores and all these restaurants. Different kind of store. So, like they made it even convenient for people to, get to know their business and get to have some customers, have a way to manage all the business day to day. So I saw what they were doing, and it was just like the office was just like literally like a home, a small home, like it's like apartments, So, and then they will put some tables and give you a laptop to be working on some projects. That was the first time I was utilizing everything I'm learning in school, because we're doing a small project, and sometimes I'm asking myself what am I going to do with all this thing? Just writing something and it's doing some calculation in Java, in PHP and all of that. I didn't know how to use that to solve any problem. I was just like, am I just coding just to do mathematics, to create an application that calculates calculators?
Yeah.
So when I saw that, and then when I came back from, I spent like 1 year there. So when I came back, I was thinking, what about, going after bigger corporations? Because I saw like a lot of corporations, some of them don't have in-house team or dev team that take care of the application. They are based on they are depending on the third party, company to take care of their technical part or their system. And these guys were like making a lot of money from this big corporation because some of the corporations, they have a large, sort of application that need a heavy maintenance. And some of them, one of the reasons, one of them, some of them doesn't hire like in-house is because of the complication there, managing the team. So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of things to put in place.
So they outsource their
yeah.
projects. Okay.
So they just want to focus on the business and let you come in and handle all the technical headaches for them. So there was a lot of companies like that. Big companies, you might, even Google, they have something like that. So not everything that you see this big company putting out there as a software, some of them were not made in-house. So I saw also like Cognizant, for example. They're one of the big, company that does something like that. Like they call it software house, where they hire they get these clients need some backend services, and then they go hire some backend developer to put on that project. This one comes and need this kind of specialty or this kind of project. They hire people and put on those projects, and those people are working. But then the money they are getting from this big corporation is quite huge. It's quite huge. And then if you have a proven solution that you have given to any of your clients that you can use to leverage your bargaining, you could get a lot of money that will sustain your company for several years. So, okay, I created the Valona. It's not like I didn't put it out there as you have a website or somewhere, but it was internal stuff that I did. So I was approaching these big, companies, to be able to cooperate with them, to give them some of the services they are, hiring other third parties to, build for them. So my first contract was, on the 2021. That was when because I've been, looking for clients for almost a year. It was hard.
Without no client, you run it for almost a year.
No. I was looking because I didn't want to open the company waiting for clients.
Okay.
So because I
figured, you became a little bit smart for it.
Yeah. So I was also very management conscious, because if I start a business, if I register the company before getting a client, then it means there's also like some other administrative things that you have to do with tax office and zoos and all of that, and then you haven't started making money. So I was looking because it wasn't that hard to open your business. So I opened a sole proprietorship sort of company, and then when I got my first client, I quickly opened that up, and then they wanted to. They had a zero system, and what I did is when I came in, I built their system from scratch, and today they're their system is so powerful, and each time when I'm talking to clients, I use that as a leverage, and they could ask reference for those companies, and they would tell, because first thing is when you have opportunity, put your effort. Sometimes let that that first opportunity cost you. You might not want to gain everything at that moment, but you are using it as a proven concept, or to show what you can do. Because sometimes when you approach the customer, they want to see what you have done. What are you into? What have you done? So if they see that, it's easy. So when I invested, all my effort, building that, from scratch, it took about 2 years. And then boom, from there, Cognizant come in. We collaborated with Cognizant. Citibank came in. They had I don't know if you are using a Citibank. There's one other.
I have a Citibank, yeah.
Yeah. Are you buying a stock with them?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So we worked on their dashboard for, people who are trading or doing all this stock, but I think it's mainly for people who are investing millions. So they brought this project. So we collaborated with Cognizant, another company. It was a joint because they wanted it fast.
Okay, so
it's a 1 year.
Their stock, but their interface, like
Yeah. So the project was built on Angular. Angular is a framework for JavaScript, a framework, and they want to move that to React. React is another framework which is more popular, and most industries prefer that one. So because of a lot of dependencies management and security issues with that Angular, they wanted to move it, and some other personal reasons. So they wanted to move it quick, and they needed a lot of people to work as quick as they can. It was just 1 year strictly, and they wanted it to be done that 1 year. And that kind of project normally should take about years to, because it's a very huge project. And then so they bring in all the expertise and through references, and then we join in that project. So that's how I saw more opportunities. Like, the first proven solution that I built was what is making way for me today. And then when I show my profile with other people who I'm talking with, they're like, wow. And then they always make sure that I have someone they can verify this information. So not just like talking, because if they have people they can call or check with, they will not hesitate.
Wow. Because now the thing that you said, that you started doing, you build your platform within 2 years, that you haven't received anything within 2 years, and
no, it was at the beginning. Normally, there's a way we charge clients. There's a way we can negotiate. There's a sort of a one-time payment, and there's also like somebody bring a project. This is my budget. Can you do it with this budget? And then there's a one like there's recurring. Like as the project still exists, you still get more money. So we sign up with like monthly kind of payment, just because it was hard to put a time frame on the project. So, and they just wanted to have, in fact, up to today, we still give them more services because they like the way we cooperate. And then they kept us as, maintenance for those platforms. And that's what we have been doing. So that's, it's like a kind of subscription.
Yeah.
So to our services. And then that money just keep flowing. But then at the beginning, because they knew that we probably don't have any proven, they just wanted to give us a try. So the negotiation was a bit low. So I said, okay, I can sacrifice. I know what the market, looks like, but let me just use this as a stepping stone. So when they were seeing results, then we have to negotiate again. So sometimes don't get too greedy, especially when you are starting. Use that opportunity to just, get something tangible that you can use to leverage your next bargain, or even, come back to the table again and say, okay, look at what we have done and look at the delivery. You can see that, we want more than this.
Yeah.
And they begin to think with your reasoning.
That's really great. That's really crazy, because when people start out a business, I see it as a problem everywhere, and they're always trying to gain something. They're always trying to be profitable the next morning.
Yeah.
And in that process, they're gonna lose a lot, because I feel like if you don't prove something, if you don't prove your worth in the business, I don't think you should expect some profits from it.
Yeah.
Because you have to prove that you can give value.
Yeah.
And that value will automatically gives you the right to demand something.
Yeah.
So yeah, when people, guys, whoever is listening right now, if you have a business, just first of all, let us know what's your business under the comment section. But I know for sure that if when you begin something, you shouldn't expect a profit right away, since it's just your starting point, and you just have to leverage that time, and you have to put in that effort just to make sure that you provide the quality service that you need to survive to service with, right?
Yeah, and the two important factors that you need to just put before you is always like prioritize quality and planning for long term. Because some people, they plan short term and then it's just cut short. Like you want to get this one and get it and everything finished.
Yeah.
But if you're planning for long term, it requires your patience. And you are able to give up some things.
Yeah, so you have to go for the bigger
Yeah,
thing,
long
term.
Yeah, it's not like
plan.
you want to get rid of the customer by charging them like so much, and you want to get everything, and you lose the customer.
Yeah. Please, I've seen a problem with the many businesses, especially African businesses. I'm gonna say it because from my point of view, I'm not gonna say what business or what thing I have experienced, but from my point of view, whenever you have a business, even as a customer, I can understand that I want to see the value first because I don't know the brand, but I'm here to try you out. So just impress me first, so that I can be willing to pay you even more than you asking me to pay for, rather than like you could try a crazy amount to and disappoint me because I'm gonna expect at the same time a business owner asks you a premium amount of money to pay. I'm gonna expect a premium service, a premium quality service, and if you cannot up the expectations, I'm gonna be disappointed, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
don't charge too much. Don't charge more than you cannot deliver.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. So whoever who's listening, just understand from my point of view. So that was your first business as a businessman that you opened. Then what came after that?
So after that, I wanted something more on the side, something more like yummy. So that's when I came up with opening a restaurant.
Okay.
So today, like in fact, on the 6th of December, next week will be 1 year. So we are doing 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe if you have time, you can come around.
I will appreciate that.
Yeah,
you heard it. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, so I will send you a formal invitation. So it's gonna be 1 year. It's a French cuisine, by the way.
Okay.
And many people ask me like, why didn't I go?
Why French? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the good question because I'm looking at it as a business. So I'm not trying to do promoting African culture is good, but the reason why I'm going there is business at the back of my mind. If I open a let's say African cuisine here, my customer base will be limited, and I'm coming to compete with a lot of good restaurants, and then I'm trying to get people who are not from Africa to try African food. That's a lot of work. If somebody can do it, I'll be proud of you, really. So I figured if I go for Italian cuisine, this cuisine is like literally on every street where there is restaurants. So there will be a heavy competition. And what I wanted to do, I didn't just want to do something in a bit low class. I wanted to upgrade. I wanted fine dining, but due to some space issue, like premises, the place where I am now, it's not big enough for me to upgrade to that fine dining. So I reduce it to semi-fine dining. So for just one purpose, because I find out when I was looking for a place to rent in the center, it was a lot of competition. There's a lot of guys that has a lot of money out there.
Yeah.
And they're willing to
spend, right?
I'm telling you, especially when they see the potential, opportunity like that. So, it was hard to get a good place in center. Everywhere I go, there's a competition. They are bidding, These guys like, the landlord or the previous tenants want to leave. And then he said, okay, I'm going to sell everything here for 200K. And then you come, I can give you the 200K. Before you go, they will call you like another person, willing to give 220. Before tomorrow, it's already up to 500,000. So they are not buying the equipment, but they are buying for the location. They want the location because they know the location you make a lot of money. So, those kind of places, I fought, but, the bid, they outbid me, Sometimes, you have to like stay, according to your coat, we say like hang your coat where your hand can reach, So like it was like quite a challenge. That was the most difficult thing, starting that, because I didn't want to do it anyhow. And then I said, okay, let's go to plan B. And one of the reasons why I was losing, I wasn't losing, but it was a big challenge, was some of the landlord, they want already restaurant, already made restaurant in the market. They don't want to rent to new upcoming. And I saw that about 5 places, that was the excuses. I said, okay, I think I might start somewhere. It doesn't have to be exactly in the center, but I will use that as a leverage to bargain for my new place that I will move to, or to create another new place. So I went to that Praga. It's not too bad. You come and see.
Okay.
The location is not too bad, but it's manageable.
Yeah, I've seen the location actually. It's I know it's around Praga.
Yeah, Praga
yeah.
Południe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely come.
Yeah, this Saturday. I mean, next Saturday.
I'll be really happy to get to join you guys.
So I started that, and it was like another phase of learning stuff. Like now I'm a good chef.
So you cook the French cuisines as well.
Yeah, I learned everything the chefs were doing there, and if they're not there, I can take care of that kitchen. Really, it was a really fun stuff for me.
That's a new journey.
Yeah, it's a quite one, and it was like really interesting to know the techniques, because French cuisine is a bit it's a bit challenging, it's a bit difficult. They have some certain kind of techniques in the way of making that cuisine. So I learned that, because at the beginning I employed like a professional chef that helped me with the menu creation, food costing and all of that. So when we're doing all those things, I was learning, and in fact, in the process of everything I was learning, and I was also taking feedback from customers to improve the services and everything that we are doing there. So, and it was quite fun, and
wow.
I'm grateful to God, for that opportunity, because I also met some people, incredible people, like they're so talented, and they give you like incredible ideas.
Yeah.
And it's quite good.
That's brilliant, because I'm also I wanted to give you some statistics about restaurants and restaurant businesses. So then you can counter me with your plans.
Okay.
So let's start with this. So most restaurants run on 3 to 10% of profit. First year, only 50% of new restaurants survive their first 12 months.
Yeah.
Then 1 up to 2 restaurants. That means 1 up to 2 restaurants will lose their businesses within the first 12 months.
Yeah.
And year 2, only about 30% up to 40% remained open. That means 60 to 70% fail within their first 24 months.
Yeah.
And the brutal one is the year 5. So year 5, less than 20% still opens, and meaning 80% eventually have stopped working or have changed ownership. Yeah. So do you have any plans to battle the stats?
What you said is actually a realistic thing going on in gastronomy industry today.
Yeah.
And one thing I've discovered is, like, if you're opening a restaurant, have a backup plan. I mean, not like to leave, but a financial backup. Because I can tell you, at the beginning, 6 months, maybe up to a year, probably you will still be needing some money to put in that restaurant. Yeah. And if you don't have a backup plan, a backup finances, then you probably, quit everything and close.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard challenge.
Yeah,
because I've seen the stats. I think I've seen this stat before, but now it's even worse.
Yeah,
it's getting worse every year. So I think your business plan in going to the French cuisine is actually very smart, because a lot of African people here are trying to improve the African cuisine, trying to go to the African cuisine. Of course, I really love the African cuisine. But as a business, but as a business point of view,
you have to think twice.
Yeah, you have to think twice, like, because you're pouring money and you're gonna invest time to it,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
got to make sure that everything is intact. Maybe as your second restaurant after you make this one successful, you'll be
Yeah.
able to open a French plus African cuisine.
Yeah, and actually I was also thinking like to kind of, because I want to add like a twist touch where we bring something from other cuisine
Yes.
and then introduce them and get the feeling of the customers.
Yeah.
So, but we are gradually moving into bringing something from Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe egusi.
I know egusi. I know
Yeah, I
egusi,
think
yeah.
it's a good one that
Egusi
we are
soup.
thinking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I think the blend would be very nice.
Yeah,
The blend would be very nice,
Yeah.
because egusi is really nice dish, and I know French cuisines, they are very elegant, like
yeah.
very classy.
Yeah.
So when you combine those
Yeah.
two, I think it will go really hand in hand.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So in order, you've been running this restaurant for 1 year, right?
Yeah. Almost.
Almost 1 year.
Yeah.
Almost 1 year. We're gonna celebrate it together.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And all of you, you're
yeah.
welcome.
yeah, and, I mean, if you guys didn't come, I'll eat all of their food. So.
Okay.
So yeah, you running a restaurant, as we see from the stats, even for 1 year, it's really hard, because you are. Congratulations for the 50%. You're the 50%. So, what challenges did you pass through while even mastering how to chef and selecting the cuisines? I know you had like a professional chef, but
Yeah.
as a business owner, you always have to think twice, right?
Yeah.
So, can you tell me some of the challenges?
I think it's about employees, about managing people. Most of the chefs, they are not reliable. Most people are not reliable. I've worked in a professional settings. I work with professionals, and when you come to restaurants, you see unprofessional people. And then sometimes some of the things they would do, it will throw you off, like, because where the kind of people you cooperate with, and you are getting this kind of unprofessional kind of relations in the work. So it becomes a challenge. Sometimes we had a very funny occasion where we have some people reserved an event, very important event for us and for the client. And then 2 days before the event, the chef started giving excuses why he will not be there. We have planned everything. It took us 1 month to plan this with the client. How do I disappoint the client? They paid deposit, and then what will I tell them? 2 days.
After a month of planning.
Yeah. And these people, this event is important to them. You can't just say sorry.
Yeah. It's probably a business
They'll
meeting.
probably punch you. I mean, just imagine maybe let's say your wedding, let's say just for example, and then you plan your reception. Everything is planned out. You're waiting for your wedding day in 2 days, and then I call you, sorry, but this your wedding, we have to think about. You come there and punch me.
Me, I'll probably be like, then my wife will punch you, bro.
Yeah, because some things, like, it's not good to postpone.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they have already put in place for that day, what they have sacrificed. So, you get that kind of stuff, and then what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So I had to quickly improvise. And I use my talents, everything I've learned so far. I quickly find another chef, somebody that will just come and, be there with me. Let's do this, And then, we managed to do it. And then the guy thought like, he's a Polish guy. And, so because most of the people I've worked, but I've never worked with, I've never employed an African chef before, but I'm going to do it, in fact, very soon.
Okay.
So it was a Polish chef. And this guy, he thought like, things are really messed up now for me. And then he was expecting that event will not hold. So I posted that event in mind that I want to show him that my restaurant does not run on your terms, because one thing I discovered is that, some chefs, they think like the restaurant to survive depends on them. And then that's why I was also learning, because what if somebody just wake up and say, I quit? Then if another chef comes in, he starts again to look at the whole ingredient, the whole, food cost, how everything is managed, and start to learn what is going on. And to hire a French chef is quite expensive. One. And again, there's not many of them. So most of the chefs you probably get, they are familiar with European cuisine, but then they are just coming to learn your ingredients, master your menu, and then work and then bring
And
all
that's
that
gonna
talent.
take time. and
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lot of effort.
Yeah.
And a lot of customers will be lost in the process. As
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So imagine when you are this week you are closed because there's something chef or somebody, and then next week people are coming and they're like, okay, it's closed today. They don't know whether it will open tomorrow. Say like it's like try your luck and see whether it will open.
Yeah.
So that's also it's a very bad stuff for the restaurant coming up just very new.
Exactly.
So we have to be consistent. So that consistent is what I was fighting because I couldn't do everything. I couldn't be, sometimes like now my office now is like almost in that restaurant. So I'm there and I'm, just making sure that everybody is on point. Everything is running smoothly. So that was one of the challenges so far.
Wow, that's really hard because I can imagine like if you think about it, there's some at some point a restaurant is run by the chef, right? Like
Yeah.
if you don't know what to do, and if the chef is the only person who's there and he knows that you can't cook,
Yeah.
and he's the only one there available right now,
Yeah.
that means he's the owner of the restaurant, basically.
In fact, he's the should I say the backbone?
The backbone
Yeah.
of the whole restaurant.
So he would do like the way he wants.
The way he wants, and
Yeah.
if he's not a good person, he could probably hurt your business
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
So it's better to learn the business and to understand the cooking and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So when the emergency comes, you'll step
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That-
And because of that struggle, I get to know a lot of good chefs. And some of the chefs, sometimes when you see a chef behind a restaurant, it's either they are part of the shareholders of the restaurant. That's why they are putting their effort. So, but just to hire a chef to come and make your restaurant better, you have to think twice. The person have to be a good person naturally, or maybe your good friend,
yes.
because they don't care really.
You're
So that's
basically hiring another person to work your dreams out for you.
Yeah. So you need to be part of the dream. You need to be part of the practical implementation. Otherwise, they will just shift the whole initiative to other things that you probably didn't expect.
Yeah.
So
And I can even say something about that because I've seen a business. So back home, my father owns a business, and there was at this point where we were having a problem with the profit margins.
okay.
And the quality of service was not at the point. And my dad, he made a mistake. I can say it was a mistake because the mistake was he didn't learn the business as he should. He just invested money into it because he have other businesses as well. So he just invested money into it, and he expected the people there to work it out. So
I can relate.
that was the moment. That was the moment that things got lost, and the business eventually crumbled down, but then it went back up then after he learned the business back up. So it's really important to actually learn the business itself, like handiwork. You have to understand in on hand what the business is before you actually implement, or you have to learn through the process of building the business, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Do you have any other experiences regarding about that?
I think other experience might be on the customer side and also on the business partner side. But those ones, sometimes things are not meant to be said in public space. But, dealing with, business clients or like business partners, sometimes there's this phrase that I've heard they used to say in Poland, that Polish people look after themselves. So when you're doing a business, you're looking after themselves. In fact, in a practical way, everybody's looking after themselves. But when it's more selfish, then it becomes something that people are talking about, So they want to make sure that they use you to be well. When somebody is like maltreating you just to be well, they don't care about your own welfare or whatever thing you have to get or your business have to gain, but they're just after themselves. So they are ready to do anything and trying to shift your dream. Because one thing I think when it comes to negotiating this strategy, I've learned a lot in a way to negotiate with people, because one thing is like you want to you have a dream, you want to get some maybe a third party company to help you do some stuff. Sometimes you realize like people like your partners, they're trying to shift your idea to what they can be able to deliver, because your idea, they cannot deliver exactly what you want. So they are compromising what you want because they are not able. And they will convince you in a very tricky way that if you're not careful, if you're not sure about what you want, they will trick you into doing something they are able to deliver. And then you find out like you wanted this and then you got this at the end.
Exactly.
So,
they may not match the dreams, like the vision that you have.
Yeah.
So they will tune it down to their own
way. In a way they can be able to deliver.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, just say it. No, okay, we're not able to do this one.
Exactly.
Maybe you find another the right person. So all of that, all of this was happening, and I was like, okay, if you're not, I want it this way, and if you're not able to do it, then no other option. Because I know what I want, and this is what I need from you. This is what I want to pay you for. You see?
Yeah. That's the problem of not knowing exactly what you want.
Yeah. You have to be sure.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in your own dream, how do you expect people to believe you?
Exactly. That's perfect description of what people should do before actually being a customer first, because when as a customer, I experienced it as well. Like if you don't know exactly what that company should do for you, they will tailor you to what they can do, and the
get your money,
and get their money, and they will just bounce. So
after all, you agreed.
You have agreed. You signed the terms and conditions. So they can't do anything for it. And when it comes to that, so can you please tell us the process that it took from legalization point to finance and as mentality as well, changing your mentality into a restaurant? Okay, now I'm running a restaurant. It's not an IT company anymore. So can you break down that for us?
So I started off from reading a lot from internet, asking questions, like something I don't understand. Like when it comes to legal stuff, you better ask the question to the right people. Like you can find a lawyer, sacrifice to pay some 1 hour consultation or something like that. Explain what you want to do. They will guide you through. But nowadays, there's a lot of good information on the internet, especially on Polish websites. They have all this information very, well said there. If you read them, you avoid making a huge mistake. So first, when I started the IT, I was looking for something very minimal. I didn't want to complicate the whole process for me. And I was also thinking about the cost management. So I figured that opening a self-employed sole proprietorship company would be a good fit for me, because I discovered that you can do up to 10 different stuff as a proprietorship. So and if you open it, you are able to do a lot of stuff, and it's just a very small setup. It doesn't cost you to open. It's totally zero, PLN, and the management is quite small. So I started off that small, and then when I wanted to do my restaurant, I wanted something a bit more, because I've already looked at my financial backup. I'm able to do, hire like a proper accountant that will be doing all of that. But also in my IT, I have an accountant. And by the way, if you have a very small business, like there's an ING, I'm not advertising for them. I'm just giving a relevant information. Okay. But there is an ING accounting office. They are very, very cheap. They will do the job for you. If you have like a small, like a self-employed company, like 120 zloty per month, they handle everything for you. Wow. I was using them, and it was like, wow. I was like saving a lot.
Let's write it out.
ING accounting office.
Okay.
So when you have a bank account and you have a self-employed company, that's the right accountant you should go for. Don't go for other ones outside, because you're gonna get like something like 500 net minimum.
Wow.
So I was like looking for everything cheap. it's it's not like when we're looking for something cheap, we're not saying like we're not able to afford it, but every zloty counts. You have to take when it comes to a business, it's not like stingy. You have to make sure that you don't lose even groceries. Every grocery, because many groceries becomes much money.
Yeah.
If you do it for several years, because you see like you have lost a lot of money. So I set up with that small setup. Then when I wanted to do my restaurant, I opened another one, limited liability company. This is Spooker Zoo. So I opened that one, and then I hired, because I know like there was gonna be like a lot of accounting, stuff, paperwork, and all of that. So I managed to find another accountant, even though their charges was about 900, but then I managed to get the negotiation to 500.
Oh, you negotiated them down.
Yeah, when it comes to negotiation, you have to leverage on something. Find your weakness. Find something to leverage, and they will. I know they want clients. I know that one for sure, and I've spoke to several accountants, and then I know their prices, but still I like their services. That's why I gave them that opportunity to collaborate for a long time. So, and I told them, see, I have other, accountants approaching me with this at 500. I just want to inform you, if you want to come down to this level, we continue, or should I move to them? They said, okay, it's fine.
When they hear this podcast.
yeah. And I was really, because from the start, you have to talk them very serious. Like, don't say one today and tomorrow you are saying to. Be very specific. If they know that you know your business, you know your numbers very well, they will take it serious.
Yeah.
So when you even making something up, they will not know. You can escape. So they didn't know I was making this one up, but I was just finding a way to trick them, and I got that reduced to that amount. Yeah. So and then I was like so I found a very friendly English speaking lawyer that I consult sometimes when I have some some issues that I need to clarify. So, and also drafting a contract with, business partners and how we collaborate, and also for employees, all of that. Like, the lawyer have to go through them, help me like prepare those documents. So it's important. It's just worth paying small money just to be on the good side of the law. So that was the way I was setting everything up. And then, so I don't think I'll be, but my other company, my IT company, we're preparing to launch something big next year. But we are moving outside Poland for that.
Oh,
so
can you say it in this podcast?
For now, it's still confidential.
Okay,
yeah,
confidential.
But we're gonna launch one of the biggest platform globally.
Wow!
And we're investing a lot into it, and then we're moving the, let's say, the seat of that company to another company. I mean, another country.
Okay.
Yeah, but in
the headquarters
Europe,
is going to be a different European country.
Yeah. Estonia, for that matter.
Oh.
And if you have researched Estonia, you might probably know
I
the
know,
reason why.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so.
For the viewers who doesn't know, Estonia, the tax reasons.
Yeah. So you pay zero tax unless you pay yourself dividends. And this is very good for the startups. So, and again, when you're running different businesses, you have to also always be clean with accounting, with management. Don't mix things up like this one is coming, everything. You don't know where, some people, like, sometimes you see like they don't know this, where, how much this business is bringing or how much this one is bringing. You have to know, okay, this one is bringing this amount, this one is bringing this amount. You have to make it very clean. Don't put everything in one place and then you are confused. You can't make a proper, because you also need to check, how the money is coming in, how they are going, to be able to help you cut prices and cost and all of that. So cost management is very important. Like I said, every zloty counts.
Yeah, every zloty counts, guys. Every zloty counts.
Yeah.
When it comes to opening a business. So it's not about your daily life, like when you buy your Starbucks or something. It's just when you open a business, every zloty counts, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Don't let it go like that.
Yeah, don't let it go with a Starbucks money, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So we spoke about your businesses. You told us about the processes, the legal process, the financial process, the mentality to run a business as well. So I want to ask you like some quick fire questions. You can answer me. So,
Okay.
what do you think most people misunderstand about running a business?
I think they think like what I said earlier, they just after money. And then this is where they get frustrated because starting a business for the first time, it might go wrong. It might not make you the money you want. And when people who want only money, and when they don't see that money, they're frustrated and then they'll give up the business.
Exactly. And between menu, staff members, and service or location, what do you think is the most important thing for restaurants to survive?
It's a very tricky question because all of them are important.
Yeah. So you gotta pick one. If you pick one for you specifically, which one will be more important for you?
I think the people, the employee or the chef. You know why? Why I think that way? Because if you're doing a great job, people will find you. Even if you are somewhere a bit far from the center, just if people see that you are doing stuff that they like, they will use taxi to come to eat.
I'm 100% bet on that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, just imagine if you have a location in center, but your service is so poor.
For sure.
I'm telling you, you see like you're in the center, but you will not see customers.
Exactly. For sure. Because I have exactly that kind of restaurant. I always walk 10 minutes to, while I have the same kind of restaurant, which is 5 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
But just because of their service and their food, I will always go there.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah. So what is the biggest mistake new restaurant owners make?
For me,
specifically,
I spent money on a project and I didn't get to implement. Yeah.
Can you share the project?
So it's on the premises, like adapting, doing some fittings there. So there is a garden there's a space in front of the location, and that space is mine. But then before I build any structure there, I need to get a permit from the building administration. And somehow I went ahead and did the design with the architect, which cost me about almost 40K.
40K.
Yeah, I did the project, and then coming back, hoping that with that project, the building committee will approve it.
They haven't.
They didn't.
After spending 40K.
I'm telling you, to build like a glass terrace like in front, and this is like, it's about let's say 52 square meters.
Okay.
So I wanted to build it to extend the space, because when you come, the space is not that too big. So I wanted to expand the space so that it can be used all year round.
With any weather.
Yes.
Right.
So that was the idea. And then we planned all those things. We made because before we started the whole construction, the whole fitting, architects have to, do all of the visualization and also the blueprints. And we have to also get like approval from Sanepid and all of that. So all of that, I wasted money, and that was the biggest mistake I made.
Wow.
And I regret that money. And my I think you probably meet my architects on that day, because she haven't confirmed, but probably she will be there. And then I was like, when I look at her, and I was like, like, this money, this lady just took this money, and I said, okay, no problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
40K. That was the most expensive problem I've heard.
I'm telling you, it's like very ridiculous.
Whew. Dang. What do you guys think? Like, is it expensive or is it light for you guys? Probably expensive. It's expensive. 40K?
Yeah.
That's expensive.
It's expensive, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the things like, and again, when you see, that's when I started this, like, when somebody is telling me like, oh, I'm renovating my building, I'm like, bro, you are doing well. Because these little things cost money.
Yeah.
And I never thought it's gonna cost like, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then this one, the architect or the construction guy, they'll come and say, this one, it's called this one. Everything is like thousands, like very, high.
Piling up.
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't expect, I thought it's like in my country we can do this
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
somehow, but here, wow.
Yeah, everything costs.
Yeah.
So, what should someone prepare for before opening a restaurant in Poland? From your own experience,
I think you should prepare for anything. Be ready.
anything
Be
is
ready.
possible. There.
I'm telling you, because I might tell you something and it might never happen to you. But be prepared for surprise, both good and bad.
Wow. Yeah.
So-
that's for sure.
Don't think everything will go smooth.
Yeah.
It's never gonna go like that. It's just a way to train you for, to make that restaurant a success. You have to pass through some of things like that.
Exactly. I think it's with any business, right? With any business where you will plan things like it's gonna go like that,
And then in reality, you see like
it's different.
you're like, maybe my calculation was wrong, and then you're like, oh, but it's fine. Just because sometimes you didn't get it at a time when you were doing the theoretical this thing, but in the process you learn so many things you won't learn if you didn't start.
Yeah. So, guys, start a business.
Yeah,
But understand that it came with its own consequences and with its own struggles.
Yeah.
So I think understanding that will save a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So, before we finish off with my last question, so what's one mindset that helped you to be the person that you are right now?
I think that one mindset is don't wait for opportunities, create them. This is something I learned from my mentor. He told me like, I'm not supposed to be waiting for people to give me a job. I have to create the job. So I have to see myself as a problem solver, not the one taking from the community. Be the one giving. Give solution. So, and each time when I'm the place I worked, like where I was doing internship, I came to give a solution to these businesses that need these things. So that mindset helped me to not to think like an employee, but because I think it's common to everybody who is doing business today. They want to help something. In return, they have money. So I always see that, create the opportunity.
Exactly. So before we finish off, what's next for Mr. Valentine? What are the big things coming?
Something global is coming. Global platform. And we're gonna have some markets. Presence in Poland as well. But we are going global. And we're going big.
Wow.
So
go big or go home, right?
Yeah, that's what we want to do.
They're going big.
Yeah.
They're going global, guys. As we speak, please make sure that you have some value to give before you expect something to be given for you, so that your business and even your mind can be at peace, right?
Yeah.
And before we finish it off, where can people find you, and tell us the name of your companies?
Yeah, so you can find me on vallamour.pl. This is our website for Val Lamour restaurant. And then maybe on social media, you can check out from the page, from the website, you can check out our social, profiles. Yeah.
We'll keep it under the description. And you haven't even tell them what Val Lamour means,
the name. So Val Lamour, my first idea was part of my name and then adding love to it. So Val is part of Valentine, and then Lamour is like love. So I wanted it to sound like French to communicate the cuisine. So then I said, why not Val Lamour? So Valentine, the love. But then recently, somebody came and said, oh, this is a very great meaning, value of love. I was like, oh, this also means something like that. And, some people today, if I don't tell them my intention at the beginning, why I gave it Val Lamour, they will think that it's Valley of Love, which is also very cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So Val Lamour restaurant was born out of love for food.
Wow. It's out of love for food. And exactly, guys, you have to go and check it out. We'll put on the description, the location, the place. You can click the link and you can basically go there if you are in Warsaw, of course. So it was a really amazing time.
Yeah.
Amazing conversations that we had with Mr. Valentine. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So guys, if you are tuned in until now, you have to subscribe. You have to like this episode. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.